Hi, my name is Michael, and welcome to the first episode of what I am calling the World War II Book Guy. Now, I've always had a passion for history, but the period in history that I've had the longest interest in is World War II. I've been reading about World War II for over 50 years and collecting books on it. If you look behind me, that's just a portion of my library on the topic. And those are the books that have just made the grade, made the cut, and have stayed with me all these years. And I've always been fascinated by World War II for a number of reasons. First, it is arguably the largest single event in human history in terms of the sheer number of people involved in geographic scope. And also the world that we inhabit, the world that we live in today, has been greatly influenced by the outcome of that war. Now, my perspective on the war is a very American perspective. Over 16 million American men and women served in uniform in World War II. Tens of millions of others worked in the farms and the factories that supplied our military, as well as to a great extent the military of our allies as well. And it was a fascinating period in American history in terms of the sense of purpose and unity that the American people had that was not seen before and certainly hasn't been seen since. Another thing that got me to want to do this, and it's a political thing, is I hear a lot of rhetoric today where if you don't like the American president, you want to compare him to Adolf Hitler. If anyone has political views an inch to the right of yours, you want to accuse them of being a Nazi. Now, aside from a ridiculous lack of knowledge about World War II, Adolf Hitler, and who the Nazis were, it's an incredible disservice, disrespect to the millions of people, the tens of millions of people who gave their lives either fighting against the Nazi regime or were murdered as a result of it. Well, anyway, that's my political take on it. But as far as the books themselves and how I want to approach this, when I look at books on World War II, I divide them into three broad categories: strategic, operational, and tactical. Strategic has two subsets. One is biographies and memoirs by individuals who filled a strategic role in the war. And the second are books that deal with the war as a whole, either the entire war or European or Pacific theater, but they're very strategic level books. Second, operational, are biographies or memoirs by individuals who commanded at an operational level, and I define that as division through Army group, or historical books that deal with a particular or specific battle or campaign. And then finally, tactical, which are almost all memoirs by individuals in their personal perceptions of the war, their experiences in the war. Now, it's not my intent to give chapter by chapter reviews of these books, but to talk about central themes, how they fit into the overall literature, and then some of my overall observations about the book in general. Is it a good read? Is it more focused on a specific set of incidents that only have a narrow interest, or is it one of a broader interest? Now, the first book that I pulled off the shelf is a book that we'll talk about in the next episode. That is, the author and the book itself are very well known to people with an interest in World War II. It's also a highly controversial author and controversial book. That is Inside the Third Reich by Albert Speer. So, until next time, this is Michael, the World War II Book Guy, and thank you.